We are now halfway through the Christmas season, and I really want to talk about my favorite Christmas movie of all time. I just rewatched it, and it really only gets better with each and every rewatch. So, let's talk about my favorite Christmas movie of all time. If you like these kind of videos, make sure to like and subscribe for more, but let's talk about my favorite Christmas movie. That is 2019's Klaus. Yes, a film that, isn't even 5 years old yet is my favorite Christmas movie of all time, and I stand by that. I think Klaus is one of the most authentic and original Christmas stories that have ever been told on screen. So, Klaus follows the story of Jesper, who is the son of the man that runs Postman Academy, and Jesper has proven himself multiple times to be the worst student there. So, as a punishment for taking advantage of his riches instead of actually learning to become a postman, he ends up making him a postman and sending him to Smeerensburg, a frozen town in the north that hasn't seen mail in a very, very, very long time. And his job is to stay there for a year to get 6,000 letters to prove himself worthy of coming back home. And when all hope is lost of turning this town around, he ends up coming across this toy maker, Klaus. And together they start coming up with the idea of Christmas. This movie is so amazing, and not even just for the story. The story is incredible, but the animation is beautiful, and seriously one of the most glorious animated films that I've ever seen in my life. The way that it incorporates 2D and 3D animation into one is without question some of the most unique and authentic animation that we've ever seen in a film. It's a completely hand-drawn film, which we don't really see a lot nowadays, and by hand-drawn I mean literally pencil and paper. That's what I mean by hand-drawn, not on a tablet and using technology. Director Sergio Pablos really wanted to make an authentic animated film without stooping to the expectations of computer graphics, but really wanted to keep it grounded and real, which this definitely did. I mean, every single frame of this film, when you just look at the animation, it just becomes so alive and real. If you just sit there and realize that, wait, this is 2D animation, but also it looks three-dimensional like the characters are popping out at me. It is something that I've never seen before, and so good. I mean, Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse gets so much praise for its animation, which, I mean, yes, that is definitely well-deserved. Those are some beautifully animated films, but this one doesn't get as much credit, and I don't understand why. It is so amazing and so beautiful. This definitely should have won the Academy Award for Best Animated Film over Toy Story 4. I mean, Toy Story 4 was good, but not great, and Klaus is just one of the most amazing animated films that I've ever seen. But now let's get to the story aspect of this film, because oh my gosh, the story is so incredible. It's amazing how it went about creating the lore of Christmas. And, we go from the idea of like letters and sending letters, knowing that when you send a letter, someone's going to bring a gift, which starts creating the idea of this, person that we choose to believe in, Santa Claus. And it's so amazing. It goes from the beginning stages of Christmas to creating this holiday, which is so awesome, the way that they just incorporate those ideas that we all know, but just make it its own thing of how it came to be. Like the idea of how bad children get coal. It's because Jesper put a piece of coal in a kid that he remembered was being a jerk to other kids. And that's just the idea of that kids now know that if you're naughty, you're going to be getting coal instead of gifts. But getting past the lore aspect of it, which is already incredible in itself, this film is about connection and bringing people together. And it always brings a tear to my eye. Whenever I watch this movie, just the idea of the joy of seeing people happy is just incredible. Like there's a moment where Klaus had gotten a gift for this kid because he received a letter that showed him that he was sad. So he decided to go and give him a gift. And then he ended up watching the kid through his window, opening the gift and really enjoying it. And it was so beautiful just to see how much love he was feeling within that moment of being able to see this kid enjoy something that he made. It's all about the joy. And that's one of the most important things that this movie really does show well. That's what Christmas is all about. It's about giving. and it's really, really, really awesome to see it portrayed in a children's film. One of my favorite parts of this film is that there's this Sami girl that comes up to Jesper and wants to write her own letter to receive a gift, but she doesn't know how to. She doesn't know how to write a letter. And originally, this movie was going to have the Sami people speak English rather than their native tongue. But they decided to keep their native language, which I think is so incredibly powerful because it shows that Christmas is a universal language. There are ways of going about being able to spread the joy without, knowing the language. And I think that's so great. It's not just for, those who speak the same language. It's for everyone. And I think that idea came across in this movie so beautifully done, so amazingly well. I mean, in the movie, there's a moment where they're teaching this Sami girl to write, in her own native, language, and it's so incredible. They're not, teaching her to write what they know. They're just teaching her the ways that she can write it herself. And she writes the letter, and then she gets a gift. And she gets to spread that joy to her family. And it's awesome to see how this story is about, reaching everyone. Everyone deserves gifts on Christmas. And every single time I watch this movie, it just brings a tear to my eye. Also, the movie is incredibly sad. I really, really dig the character of Klaus. J.K. Simmons plays Klaus, and it's just, he fits it so well. And the story is about, finding a way of life, finding a new path in life. And Klaus's story is really, really sad. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen this movie, but it's just so real, so sad, and really you just connect with these characters so much. And, I've rewatched this movie a good amount of times. Every single time this movie has just gotten better and better and better each watch. It's just so entertaining. It's so funny. The animation is beautiful. It's emotionally moving. It's powerful in its diversity. And really, I think this movie is quite underrated. I know it was nominated for an Oscar, but when it comes to the Christmas season, I don't think a lot of people really see this movie for what it is. People are so distracted by, other Christmas movies, but really, I'm not saying that this is the best Christmas movie. I think it's the best Christmas movie, but, it's so amazing. And I really think it deserves a lot more attention than it gets now. And it was great to see that it was nominated for an Oscar. I mean, these are the kind of movies that deserve to be nominated for an Oscar, not the Disney or Pixar film that comes out that automatically gets an Oscar nomination. These are the kind of movies that we want to see win the Oscar nomination. And this one has blown me away every single time I watch it. Every single time I watch it. It's also a really fast-paced film, and on top of it not being super long, I mean, it's like an hour and a half, but it has really good pacing and just really good character development throughout the entire thing, and you are just pulled into this world. It is so good. I don't know how many more times I have to say it, but this Klaus is so good. This is the best Christmas movie of all time. I love this movie. I think it's monumental. I mean, I don't think we've gotten this good of a Christmas movie in a very long time. I don't think that we have gotten this good of a Christmas movie. I think it just tops every Christmas movie that has ever come out. I mean, there are some really great classic Christmas movies. I think Klaus comes out on top. This movie is perfect. It's only available to watch on Netflix, for it is a Netflix original, but I really hope that everyone who hasn't seen it chooses to find a way to watch it, because oh my gosh, I need you guys to watch this movie. It will brighten your spirits, especially around the holiday season. But like I said at the beginning, if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe if you like these kind of videos. But that'll bring us to the end of this video. I appreciate every single one of you. And remember, your movie moment is right around the corner. See you in the next video.